But start recording. Stop recording button.
Hey guys, this is Griff Spence here. Hope you're having a good Easter if you're in any of the countries that are on Sunday. And if you're on the northern countries, I hope you have a good Easter when your Easter day comes, which it will soon. Anyway, I thought I have just been watching the movie Super Size Me, which I have downloaded. And it's not audio described, but I pretty much have got the gist of what's going on. And by that, and also asking sighted people what's on the screen, I understand about the movie and about how people have actually, about Morgan Spurlock trying to eat McDonald's 3 times a day for 30 days. So before we continue, that's just stupid. Of course he's going to get sick. He also supersized everything, or not everything, but a lot of things. So I know that he said in the movie, what I did wasn't actually that wild. Well, okay, it actually was. Now, but I wanted to discuss my experience, which I've never shared with anybody, but I thought about it a couple of days ago. Now, I have never eaten McDonald's 3 times a day for 30 days. If I did, I'd get sick of it. Not just physically sick, I'm talking mentally. I'd get over it. I'd want to eat something else. So, hats off to him for even trying that. That's just crazy. Anyway, but I was having it 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week for 9 months. And I was having a lot of it. Yes, I wasn't having burgers, but I was having the McNuggets and chips. And there were a couple of times I did try a couple of burgers. I also had the frappes a couple of times, the frozen Cokes a couple of times, the regular Cokes a couple of times, and the orange juice more often than not, because that's my favourite. Now, I had to have a ultrasound after 9 months for reasons I can't explain here. They were just something I had to do at the time. Anyway, I was tested, and even though I'd been quite a heavy user of McDonald's for 9 months, my liver was actually not blemished at all. So there were no issues there. I passed the ultrasound, and I didn't end up with diabetes, which I thought I would have gotten with the amount of sugar I had. I mean, fair enough. I probably didn't drink as much soft drink, and I certainly don't drink as much soft drink now. Now, obviously, it is still not good for you, and just because my liver was handling it might have been a fluke. On the other hand, what I am saying is, if you eat it for a while and then you stop eating it, you probably will
WhatsApp.
be okay.
Now. Sumithi Sumalingam.
Excuse me. You will probably be okay. But you will pay, and I'll tell you how you'll pay. You'll pay in your wallet. Takeaway is very expensive. Now, I was addicted to it at that time, and I used to have McDonald's a couple of times a week, KFC a couple of times a week, and Kingsley's a couple of times a week. Now, I will never break the cycle completely, and I deliberately do that because I want to keep eating it sometimes, and I just think, I don't want to quit it completely, and I don't think I have to. I eat plenty of food at home, but what I am saying is, if you eat it all the time, the thing I really paid with wasn't my weight, wasn't my liver, wasn't anything, it was my wallet. It's very expensive to have takeaway food regularly. So he's right. Morgan Spurlock is right. You shouldn't be eating it every day. Now, there are probably lots of people out there, especially in 2020, which is where we are now, who don't know how to cook. That's fine. There's a lot of takeaway places that offer healthy food. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who like different types of food, but there's also lots of different types of food you can get. I'm pretty much a carnivore. I say pretty much because if I was a complete carnivore, I wouldn't touch fruit or veg. I do eat some fruit and a little bit of veg, but yes, I am genuinely meat. But a lot of that meat is fresh red meat or fresh chicken. Don't like fish at all, so That's one of the reasons I became an atheist. But it's another story. I'm not a professional atheist, so I won't be putting any atheist videos up here unless I see something from one of the churches, which is absolutely stupid. I think that the Atheist Voice and Friendly Atheist, the two channels, I'm subscribed to both of them, are where you should go if you want to find out about atheist stuff. And I'm certainly not a professional atheist, and I certainly couldn't say I know everything about being an atheist or about every other religion. But this guy is very good. But anyway, that's a different story. So I eat a lot of meat, and I was eating a lot of meat before I went on my McDonald's, Kingsley's and KFC binge. So that might have contributed to it. My body was already ready for meat. Morgan Spurlock's wife or girlfriend, I don't remember what it was a vegan. Which most vegans are quite pushy. Sorry, if you're a vegan watching this, you just are. So I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to make videos. So there's a good chance he wasn't eating much meat himself. And anyway, so to top it all off, I make a lot of these long videos and I don't even know if people watch them, but hey, at least I'm doing something. To top it all off, takeaway isn't good for you all the time. It just isn't. You should know that. The companies aren't going to tell you, so go out and look it up. There are things in McDonald's and KFC, especially KFC, was much worse. I had much worse reactions to KFC than I ever did McDonald's. KFC, I had diarrhea and all that. Never put on much weight. I used to eat a lot of food from KFC too, and I'd eaten 3 or 4 or 5 of those giant feasts, the $40 Australian things, and again, my liver wasn't that anywhere near bad. So, yeah. I also am autistic, so I rock, I jump, I move around a lot, so I burn a lot of that energy off. And I was also in outdoor education at school, which meant I was surfing, skiing, canoeing, all sorts of things. So I was keeping my exercise up. I was also walking to the Hyperdome there and to the Hyperdome and back, walking to McDonald's and back, walking around the lake and back, walking to KFC and back, etc. from school. So I've burnt most of it off by the time I actually got back to class. Because in college, you can leave at any time in Australia, as long as you're back before your class. And you can go as far as you want away from the school. And there were a couple of times I went for a bit of a drive with somebody, sighted of course, and we drove out somewhere. But most of the time I walked. And I walked around a lot. So I was doing that. I was jumping all the time up and down on the spot because of my autism. And I was doing outdoor ed, which meant I was canoeing, doing a lot of bushwalking, skiing, and you need to be fit for skiing, let me tell you. You've really got to put it in for the skiing. If you don't have the strength to pull a snowplow, you're going to go straight into a tree. Anyway, again, another story, another time. But those are all factors. Now, I don't know what happened to Morgan because he didn't show his exercise life. But if he had McDonald's, went for a run, had McDonald's, had McDonald's, I reckon he wouldn't have put on as much weight because he'd be burning the calories. It's not to say it's not going to do any long-term damage. Or he could have sat in a sauna, which I've also been listening to and found out are good. So, long story short, his experiment was over the top. Nobody should do that. And if you do, you're silly. And you may get sick. If you can't cook, then there are options. If you have to have McDonald's, have much smaller meals. There are much smaller meals you can get. If you don't want McDonald's, which a lot of people won't, there's a lot of other takeaway places. Or even restaurants. Eat out. Have something freshly cooked. There's plenty of places that still offer that. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, there's plenty of places that'll cook salads or vegetables without egg or anything. If you're a carnivore like me, there's plenty of places that'll serve meat. Steak, chicken, beef, sausages, bacon and egg rolls, etc. Try eating from those. But look around. And if you can cook at home, cook some things at home because you can actually make a takeaway meal version of a home meal, which means you get the food, the nuggets, the chips, the burger, make it at home. Make your own McDonald's food. No additives, no added things, and you know what you've put in it. And it's cheaper. So, but a lot of what Morgan Spurlock said is, adequate to somebody who eats it every day, 3 times a day for 30 days. But I'm wondering whether he got it because he was with a vegan and didn't eat much meat. So, yeah, that's basically my little take on the movie. And I haven't watched the second movie, but I'm going to try. Don't even know why he's allowed to eat meat again. Those vegans are pretty strict. And if there are any vegans or vegetarians who are watching this who want to give me a hard time in the comments, don't do it. I've already heard it all about how I'm destroying the farmers and how, every single animal that dies is my fault. Not interested. Don't want to hear it. And if you do, you'll be blocked. I'm telling you right now. And if you don't like it, then don't watch these videos. I don't make these videos to make everybody happy. I make these videos to get things across. Obviously, I don't have any disrespect for you, so don't have disrespect for me. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who like to kick around in the comments and say all this stupid shit. And I've seen it on other videos. So don't do that. If you're going to comment something decent. Like ask a question. Or tell me your experience, or tell me a restaurant that you like to eat, or some homemade food that you like to make, or something like that. Don't be coming on here telling me how shit I am. I'm doing this from home. I'm doing this on an iPhone. I'm doing this for no money. None of my videos are monetized. They probably never will be monetized, and I'm not here for the money. I'm here to tell people information that I know. Obviously, I'm not a scientist. We all know that takeaway food is bad for you. But it won't hurt once in a while. Just don't get addicted like I did, because even if you don't put on the weight, your wallet will get lighter, I assure you. And you don't have to break the cycle altogether. I didn't. I just had to cut back. Now I'll buy it once a week. And that is okay. I can do that. I can afford that, and it's not going to run me dry. I'm also learning to cook lots of great food at home. So yeah, takeaway is bad for you. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying the reactions are going to really depend on which person does it. And I wouldn't recommend anyone getting out and doing an experiment like eating McDonald's for 30 days straight for 3 meals a day. That would just be quite stupid and idiotic. And we all know that's bad for you. And I don't have to be a scientist to say that. But maybe if you are somebody who's a heavy user at McDonald's, get yourself tested, ultrasound. See what your liver's doing. It might be a bit shitty. If it is, maybe it's time to cut back. If it's okay, maybe it still is time to cut back. If you're eating McDonald's but you're not gaining any weight, you should get yourself checked too, because sometimes things build up. And if you can, learn to cook some stuff at home. It's going to be way cheaper, and you can get the same taste, honestly, from homemade stuff. And I've tested it. Not saying you shouldn't eat takeaway. Anyone who wants to go and eat takeaway, go and eat takeaway. And I know that a lot of people will be eating lots of sugar over Easter. I know I will be. And that's fine. Just don't do it all the time. And if you have to do it all the time and you can't cook, just look around, because there's tons of places you can go that aren't McDonald's. Want to go there, maybe go there once a week or once every couple of weeks, and you'll be fine. But there's plenty of places for people who can't cook to go have some food. Anyway, that's me again. Like, comment, subscribe. Haven't had many likers or subscribers except a couple of friends. I am going to start doing live streams soon once I get OBS going, and I'm going to be playing some audio games with 2 other YouTubers, Zach Blunt and Gabriel Aurea. So look forward to that. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Stop recording.